Welcome back to the Cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is playing out this short-term warning signal as the price is continuing to retest this critical area on the chart, while the price is also moving towards a lot of new liquidations we need to pay attention to, while Ethereum is still rejecting from this critical area of resistance. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before we take a look at the Bitcoin charts today, we need to talk about the Bitcoin news today because on Wednesday, we actually saw a very small net inflow into the spot Bitcoin ETFs compared to Monday and Tuesday. And so, first of all, on Monday, we saw a net inflow of around $300 million US. On Tuesday, we saw a massive net inflow of around $422 million US. But on Wednesday, we only saw a net inflow of around $53 million US, which is still okay, but that is nowhere near what we saw on Monday and Tuesday. And so, of course, on Wednesday, just more recently, we did not really see the same bullish price action as we saw right at the beginning of the week. And so it's definitely worth keeping an eye on the Bitcoin ETF inflows, because if they continue to slow down like what we saw on Wednesday, then that can result in a slowdown of the bullish momentum in the price of Bitcoin, as we've seen just recently over the last couple of days. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today, and as of right now on the 4-day time frame, when we're zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, at least for now, we have not yet broken this larger bullish trend, also known as the bull market, which means at least for now, we're still within a larger bullish trend, also known as the bull market, because we have not yet confirmed an invalidation of this indicator right here, which also perfectly flipped bullish right at the beginning of the bull market. And so in order to flip this indicator right here, the super trend indicator on the 4-day Bitcoin chart from green back to red, like what we saw right at the beginning of the 2022 bear market, in order for this to happen, we would need to see at least a 4-day candle close confirm below around 55.8K, which as of right now has not happened. And if we're zooming into the daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, the DXY is still trending in the bearish direction, despite a very short-term bounce just over the last 1 day. And so once again, as I've said time and time again here on the channel, when the DXY is trending in the bearish direction, almost always that is very bullish for the price of Bitcoin in terms of the trend and momentum here on the daily time frame. But of course, during a bullish trend, we can see some short-term pullbacks here and there and some short-term dumps during a bullish trend. So keep in mind, when I say a bullish trend or bullish momentum here on the daily time frame, that does not mean straight bullish price action with no bearish price action at all. Because once again, a bullish trend is just the price generally drifting in the bullish direction, and also can contain some short-term pullbacks here and there during the bullish trend, which is basically what we're seeing right now. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, the price of Bitcoin is still retesting this critical area of previous resistance, now acting as new support, sitting in between around 63,000 to 64,000. And so in the short term, that is a critical area of support to hold above, because otherwise, if we see a candle close on the daily time frame back below around 63,000, of course, just in the imminent short term for the following days, that would be a short-term bearish signal, potentially pointing towards a drop towards this area of support, sitting in between around 60,000 to 61,000. But at least for now, that has not happened. So 63 to 64K is still the support to pay attention to as of right now. And as for resistance, we have a lot of resistance starting just underneath 67,000, going up towards around 68,000 approximately. And above that area of resistance, we also have another area of resistance in between 72 to 74,000. And so once again, during this bullish trend, we can see the price struggle, especially around these areas of resistance. That is very normal to see even during a bullish trend. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin chart, right now the price of Bitcoin is actually trading back below this golden pocket area of resistance, which was sitting in between around 64.2K to 64.9K. And so at least on this chart right here, based on the Fibonacci retracement levels, technically speaking, that is a bit of a short-term bearish signal. And our next retracement level acting as support is sitting at around 62.1K, so just above 62,000. And our next Fibonacci level of resistance in the short term is sitting at around 67,500. But once again, we also need to keep in mind these other areas of support and resistance here on this daily time frame based on other factors like previous price action, and also based on this volume profile indicator, which is a relatively accurate indicator at showing strong support levels and resistance levels. And just before talking about some other important Bitcoin charts today, first, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, I'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive lucky draw happening right now over on Bybit, only for the next 2 days or so. And so just by trading crypto using that link down below this video, I'll take you to this page right here where you get these chances into this lucky draw where you could potentially win some free Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDT or a trip to an F1 race or up to $100,000 just by trading crypto using that link. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And if we're taking a look at the 2-hour Bitcoin chart, this is the imminent short term right here for the price of Bitcoin. And as of right now, we have this new bearish divergence, which has now confirmed over the last 1 day or so. And so this is basically the complete opposite to this bullish divergence here on the daily time frame. But of course, it's on a different time frame, which means it's not as significant compared to the daily time frame, because the larger the time frame, the more significant the pattern or signal. But with that being said, this will still likely play out over the next day or so, because usually patterns and signals on the 2-hour time frame play out over just a few days, usually around 1 to 3 days, give or take. Whereas patterns and signals on the daily time frame can take weeks, potentially even up to a month to actually play out, as we've seen over the last 1 to 1.5 weeks with this bullish divergence. And so what I expect with this bearish divergence, at least just for the next 1 day, is either some choppy sideways price action here or perhaps a little bit more of a pullback. So basically this type of price action that we've seen over the last 1 day is what I expect over the next 1 day as the most likely scenario. But after this is basically play out within around a day or two from now, then we could potentially continue on with that short-term bullish trend, especially if we bounce from this area of support. Because a divergence between the price and the RSI is not necessarily enough to confirm a trend reversal. As I've said here on the channel, once again, we can see short-term pullbacks even during a bullish trend. And it is definitely important for the price to hold above this area and also this area of support here on the daily time frame, because otherwise, if we start seeing a too large of a pullback here, then we could potentially start hitting some major levels of liquidity to the downside here on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. Because just recently, new areas of liquidity have emerged on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. First of all, we have this area sitting in between around 61.9K to 62.1K. So right at around 62,000, we do have a decent amount of liquidity. And below that area, we also have more liquidity at around 59,000 approximately, and more liquidity at around 56,500 to 57,000. And now we do have some liquidity starting to build to the upside again, just in the imminent short term, sitting at around 66.4K, give or take. But with that being said, the main area of liquidity, at least on this 1 week chart right here, showing the last 1 week worth of price action, the main area of liquidity is sitting at around 62,000, give or take. And so honestly, I would not be surprised if we do end up seeing potentially a quick drop to around 62,000 before seeing some sort of rebound. That is a likely scenario, at least based on this Bitcoin liquidation heat map. But with that being said, if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame right now, the price of ETH is still playing out this breakout despite this short-term pullback or pause during this bullish breakout. Because technically speaking, this bump and run reversal pattern, which is a 3-stage reversal pattern, only invalidates if we see a confirmed break with daily candle closes back below the point of the breakout, which is sitting at around 3260 approximately. And so at least for now, while the price is still sitting above that level, we still have this bullish price target in play at the top of the lead-in phase for this bump and run reversal pattern, which is sitting at around 3.9K as a technical price target. And so just to measure out those movements here on the price chart from where we are right now as of recording this video to the point of invalidation, that's around a 5% move to the downside, or from where we are right now as of recording this video to the technical price target, that's around a 14% move to the upside. And as of right now, the RSI has not entered into overbought territories here on the daily time frame. So technically speaking, on the daily time frame, we still have room to go, unlike around 1 to 2 weeks ago when the RSI entered into oversold territories, which was a signal I talked about back then on the channel, telling us that we're likely approaching a low in the price and we're going to see a break from all of that bearish price action due to the fact that we were oversold and also running into critical support that previously held as strong support. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour time frame, right now the price of ETH is still heavily struggling around this critical area of resistance, which is the golden pocket area of resistance sitting in between around 3480 to 3520. And not only is the golden pocket the most important Fibonacci area on the chart, we also have previous resistance right at that area, as we've seen in the past. So this is definitely a significant area of resistance, at least in the short term, to pay attention to. And now, if we eventually see a breakout back above around 3520 with candle closes back above that level and ideally flipping it into new support, then in that case, expect to move up towards around 3650 to 3.7k as the next short-term resistance based on previous resistance in the price and also this Fibonacci level. And if the price can eventually break out back above 3.7k, then we can finally expect the continuation towards the bullish price target right here at around 3.9k. And so, as I always say, even though we have a bullish price target in play, we still have other resistance levels between the current price and this price target, which can still prevent the price going towards that price target. So this is why we need to pay attention to these strong resistance levels here on the price chart. And as for support, we have this retracement level and also previous support sitting right at around 3340 to 3350. So expect a lot of short-term support around there. But if we were to see a break back below around 3340 with candle closes back below that level, then expect to move down towards around 3.2k to 3240 as the next short-term support. And below that, we have a lot of support at around 3050. But what I actually expect for the price over the next one day is honestly a continued short-term cool-off right here as we're still struggling around this golden pocket. So basically the price action that we've seen over the last couple of days is what I expect over the next one day as the most likely scenario. But once again, even though we're playing out this slight pause in the price action after this bullish move right here, this does not mean the bullish trend is over. So at least for now, we're still in a short-term bullish trend. We're just taking a bit of a break from that bullish trend in the imminent short term here, which is what I continue to expect just over the next one day. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at Solana on the 12-hour time frame, right now the price of Solana is still struggling right at around 160, give or take, around 160 to 161. We still have a lot of resistance as we've seen over the last few days. And so once again, the short-term trend is technically still bullish because as of right now, we're still seeing higher lows and higher highs, which is technically a bullish trend. We also broke out above other key resistance levels like 154. So once again, the trend for the price of Solana in the short term is still technically bullish. It's just in the imminent short term, we're taking a bit of a break from that bullish trend due to the price struggling around heavy resistance at 160, give or take. But if we can eventually see a confirmed breakout back above 160 with candle closes above that level and ideally flipping that into new support, then in that case, expect to move up towards this area as the next major resistance based on previous price action, sitting in between around 170 to 175. And we also have more resistance in between around 183 to 187. And as for short-term support, we do have some short-term support at around 152 to 154 based on previous resistance now acting as new support. And below that, we have a lot more support in between around 140 to 144. But at least for now, 154 is the support to pay attention to. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways like right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.